And welcome back, Frank Castle, talking rough. Actually, there's no way. I can kind of do a John Berthal voice, particularly when he says that line. It's like, "What's it do, Frank? All the good shit, Billy. All the good shit." I love that line. But yeah, so like I mentioned when I actually reviewed Defenders a few weeks ago, I I started. I got into Netflix late because I never had Netflix. I was one of the few schmucks that didn't have it. And my my girlfriend has Netflix, so we watched Netflix, like, I used her account and all that, and she's fine with it. She actually suggested it, so I'm then catching up on a lot of stuff I need to catch up on. And we were watching a lot of the Marvel shows, and I just never got around to reviewing them at a time. So even though it's going to get very few reviews, I still want to get out to reviewing them. And we're on Punisher season 1, and I'm going to tell you right up front. I believe that of the Marvel Netflix shows, there were winners, there were losers, there was hits, and there was misses. In terms of like the misses, like Iron Fist season 1 was a whole lot of miss. Season 2 definitely better. We'll get to that in a little while in one of the next videos. Not only will it be the next one, but it'll be pretty soon. But yeah, Jessica Jones season 2, another bit of a miss. And then there's ones that just kind of fit in the middle, like mostly Luke Cage kind of fits in the middle. But then you get like the big win, like the ones that kind of knocked it out of the park. Daredevils, season 1 through 3. Yes, I finished season 3, and yes, there will be a review of that. I believe that's actually the next one. Daredevil season 3, or Daredevil overall, win. Like that bar none was the best thing they did, bar none. Right after that, though, and I mean, like, if Daredevil hypothetically is a 10, Punisher's coming in at an 8 or 9. Punisher season 1 might have been one of the best things Marvel Netflix did. Like that show was it was different than the other shows because it wasn't just, you get the Frank Castle blind people like doing the. I love that. I love just that primal like, yeah, I love God. John Berthel's so good. I loved, and it's not just John Berthel's Punisher blowing people away. It's tackling a lot of like really hard shit, like really deep shit. It's tackling a lot of issues. It's tackling the idea of loss, the idea of having to fake your own death to protect the people you love when you get the Cypher. The idea of what happens to the people in the military, the people who don't come home, the people who are struggling with all their issues. What happens when those people go bad? Are we to blame? Or are they to blame? And what happens when you get that revenge? Where do you go from it? It's dealing with a lot of heavy shit, and it's handling it fantastic. I'm watching, like, Daredevil. I was always riveted by it. I'm like, I'm edge of my seat. Punisher was right there with it. I'm like, every episode, I'm like, how the hell are we getting through this? Like, what's the end game here? I mean, it follows Frank, and he gets what he thinks is the revenge on the people who were involved and they were people who were involved. He gets revenge. It starts with him getting revenge on all the people that basically his family killed. Ultimately, find out he didn't get everyone. And he basically is now just trying to find a way to live his life. He's got one friend. I can't remember the friend's name. He was literally just in the episode of season 2 I watched. But I can't remember his friend's name off the top of my head, who was also, in his unit, one of his best friends. He lost his leg, so he's got a fake leg. And another friend, Billy Russo, who's one of the bad guys in the series. And, I mean, Billy doesn't initially know that he's alive, but he reveals himself to Billy, because they were friends. And, it's him just trying to cope with just being. Not trying to get involved with anyone, not trying to be anyone's friend, just trying to exist, not get in trouble. But ultimately, he keeps getting dragged back in, and that leads him to Cypher, a spook, basically got, who would have been killed had he not found a way to get out. Now he basically is off-grid, trying to find his way back to his family. And they do a fantastic job at basically showing the duality of where they both at. Frank even flat out says, he's a blunt instrument. You point him in a direction and you let him loose. He's not good at this, high-tech specific shit. He's not good at the nuance of it. Whereas Cypher's a guy who is, but isn't good at getting his hands dirty. He's not someone who's out in the front line, so he doesn't quite get Frank's point of view and understand why Frank is sometimes right, but Frank doesn't always get why Cypher's always right. They do a fantastic job at balancing that out. The characters are great too. Like I do like Cypher's just awkward confidence, and that is what it is. It's an awkward confidence. It's like, come on, Frank, you just got ghosted by a spook. They bring the characters they bring into the series. Cypher, Madani. I'll get to Madani in a little bit because when we get to season 2, I am going to explain where I feel like not where they went wrong with the character, but where the character itself goes wrong. And I'll explain that when we get to season 2. But right now we're in season 1. Billy Russo. Billy, who spoiler, is Jigsaw in season 2. They allude to that fact, and yeah, he is Jigsaw. But because they don't call him Jigsaw, but they say his mind is a jigsaw, so that's why he's called Jigsaw. But Billy is the villains in the Marvel Netflix series aren't always the best. But that's not to say they're terrible. For instance, King, obviously, Wilson Fisk, one of the best ones. Bullseye was also really good. The Hand, not so much. Gao's good, but the Hand, yeah, the Hand's kind of lackluster. I can't remember Iron Fist season 1's bad guy. I mean, I remember it was kind of the Hand, kind of, but again, they still sucked. It was more like there was that one specific teacher of Colleen that she had to kill. Diamondback sucked, but Cottonmouth was good. Bushmaster was kind of in between. He wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible by any stretch of me. Mariah's a good villain. Obviously, Kilgrave, Purple Man. He's fantastic. You gotta love him. Then you get Jessica's mom, and I can't remember who else was the bad guy. There was like one other technical bad guy in that season. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember exactly who it was. So there was that. And I think but yet, and then you get basically the government bad guys in the Punisher. That's what you're getting here. And obviously he's like mob guys and stuff like that, especially in season 2. But, what they do good with their villains in this is that these are among the most realistic villains you will ever see in a Marvel series. Like, Kilgrave's got powers. Kingpin, it's not so much feasible that one guy could be that. I mean, yeah, I get it. It's semantics, real world scenario, all that. But when you really think of what Kingpin's pulling off and all that, the fact that one man could be that powerful is a little far fetched, but not completely unrealistic. The Hand is completely unrealistic. Jessica's mom's completely unrealistic. Cottonmouth, but someone like Cottonmouth was completely realistic in my mind, completely. So is Mariah to some degree. Diamondback not so much, and neither with Bushmaster. But you want to talk about a realistic threat? Corrupt government is a realistic threat, and these guys, these guys really sold that. Billy Russo is sickeningly charming, and likable, while also being completely just slimy, scummy, detestable. And I can't remember the other guy's name. The guy who Frank beat the crap out of, messed his eye up, and then is basically the guy torturing Frank, who's just getting off by, beating the living hell out of Frank. I can't remember that guy's name, but he's a sick F, and he's very good, too, in representing what he is. But again, what this series, and again, the action sequences, save for Daredevil, Punisher has some of the best fucking action sequences in the Marvel Netflix series. Completely 100%. Even some of the better when you think about the Marvel MCU. When you really think about it, in terms of raw brutality and what we're seeing going on screen, Punisher has some of the best action sequences, in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, MCU still has better action sequences overall, but it definitely kicks the crap out of some of the action sequences from the MCU. And again, apart from maybe Daredevil's fight sequences, Punisher's got some of the best. But what the series, I think, really captured is pain and uncertainty. because you see what pain and uncertainty and fear does to people. We see what it does to Madani, who should address Madani real quick. I forgot to address her. I do like the character Madani in season 1. She is kind of, I wouldn't say she's a wide-eyed, naive youth, but there's still a level of innocence to her on some regard. Like a woman who hasn't seen, a person who hasn't seen the shit in life yet is going to see the shit in life as the series progresses. And that slight optimism, that slight spark that's in her is a really nice juxtapose to Frank's bitter, hard-bitten, just I'm sick of shit in this world mentality. It really is. And so and the fact that we know she's banging Russo, and Russo's the guy who killed her friend, it's like, and then eventually she'll find out about it, and he shoots her in the head at the end of the series. She survives obviously through the season 2. It's really it's really great storytelling in that regard, like where her arc kind of ends up by the end of season 1. But like I said, hurt, how we deal with that, fear, how we deal with that, can we deal with that? Who among us are equipped to handle it? Who among us are not? The people who can keep going. Frank is one of those people who, for some reason, can just keep going. Like he's a broken man. And season 2, I saw a clip from one of the later episodes in season 2. He even, because he talks to Karen at one point, he's like, Madani's broken just like I am. Frank fully admits he's a shit show. He's broken. He's just, ugh. But he's able to keep going. And no one can really say if that's because he's just that level of a Marine. He's just got that much willpower. That's what his wife and kids would have wanted. But he's just someone who has taken so much crap, lost so much, is okay with dying if he feels it's his time to go. Like even like after when Billy and that guy torture him, he even says like, "I'm ready, Billy. I'm ready." But you got problems with it. It's got to be you, Billy. Don't let him do it. It's got to be you. And then Billy's just like, "You have my word, buddy. You have my word, Frank." It's like even in that moment, him and Frank were still brothers. Like even in that moment, despite the fact they had betrayed one another multiple times at this point, there was still that brotherhood between us. Like, okay, I can do that one. I can do that for you, man. I can do that for you. Like that was a great scene. Like it's got to be you, Billy. It's got to be you. And obviously Frank lives. So where did crap? I just completely lost track of what I was saying. Pain. Oh yeah, Frank. For some reason, Frank is able to keep going. Cypher was able to hold on, but Cypher hit. It is Cypher, right? Because I remember Cypher's also the name of the villain in Charlize Theron's character in the Fast and Furious franchise. Hold on, Punisher Netflix. What was the name of that guy? I want to say it was Cypher. Wouldn't it be lovely if I've actually been saying the wrong name the whole time? I'm not going to restart the video. Netflix. Okay, hold on. Punisher Netflix season 1. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, where is he? Oh, this is season 2's cast. Okay, I want season 1's cast. I want to say it's Cypher. I do want to say it's Cypher. One second. Curtis Holt. Nope. Frank Castle. Where is... One second. Where is season... Okay, season... Because he was in the first season. Come on. I'm sorry it's taking long. Just realized that I wanted to be sure that I didn't mess the guy's name up. Where is this? Because he was in the majority of the first season. So, Amy, nope, John, Krista, David. Oh, David Lieberman, a.k.a. Micro. Oh, it was Micro. Crap. Oh, well. Micro. My bad. Cypher would have made sense, though. But, no, it was Micro. My bad. Okay, so anyway. Micro is in some state where he's been surviving for years off the grid, not being able to keep an eye on his family thanks to the security system in his home. But when he meets Frank, as things start to really play out, he's finding it harder and harder to cope, to the point where he actually goes to the Madani, where he's just almost about to reveal himself to his kids, like, my boy needs it, you need to get the hell out of here, is what you need to do. So yeah, whereas then we see the other guy, Curtis. That one, Curtis is the name of his friend. I do remember that. Okay, so I'm not going to even bother trying to find the name at this point. I clicked on the IMDb page where it would have had his name. You get that guy in the support group that Curtis was managing, who becomes a domestic terrorist, who could not cope with the atrocities he did. You see him at one point in like the training center or the recruitment center for Billy Russo's units, or whatever he does. I can't remember. He was like a contractor. And he seemed at peace for a moment. Like, he seemed at ease. He was able to converse with these guys. Like, actually seemed like he was back to some level of normalcy. But whenever he wasn't, he dug the whole freaking trench in his own yard because he can't sleep in his own bed. He has a gun under his bed. He nearly shoots his dad, and he just can't handle it. And he breaks. He kills a guy who was a fake vet, basically. Who was just basically not going to use any political terms. He was basically one of those. Again, I want to try to say it without sounding political. He was one of those idiots who wanted to be heard but didn't have anything to really say. He basically lied to get the attention to make himself feel good. It's like, here's my agenda and all that. So he was an agenda kind of guy, but didn't have anything to back up the agenda. Like, he was a dick. The guy, he ends up killing that guy because he lied, and he just snaps on him. And then he just goes full domestic terrorist, and it's a powerful and tragic look at what happens to some people who can't come back from war. We're still at war in some ways. We're at war themselves, and how we treat our vets. It's real, and there was a line that stuck out to me when he blew up a building. He actually hurt and killed innocent people. And he's talking with Frank over the phone. He's like, "You think this? You think you're going to put a dent in the system?" It's like, and the guy goes, "Oh, I already put a dent in the system." It's like, you really think that, don't you? You hurt innocent people, but unfortunately, the way this country works, that's pretty much a daily. I don't think there's nearly any day that's gone by where there hasn't been like a mass shooting or something like that. I haven't heard of anything recently, but that doesn't mean it hasn't happened. We live unfortunately in a very, very broken country right now, as I'm obviously from the States. I'm in the U.S. And it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's a harken to what was going to happen, but it's a cautionary tale of how we treat people in some regards, and how this country kind of screws a lot of this stuff up, unfortunately. And how these people end up we end up making the monsters that threaten us a lot of the time. And I think that is one of the biggest things to take away with the series. It's an idea. It's a Frankenstein tale. It's a Frankenstein's monster tale. We create our worst monsters, and unfortunately, sometimes we are the worst monsters that we create. And at some point I really want to go back and rewatch. I'm still working on Punisher season 2 right now, about halfway through it, and I'm liking it. Not as good as season 1 right now, but I'm liking it. That scene in the gym, man. Woo! I'm like, oh, that's one of the reasons I love this show, man. Oh, so good. I'm really liking season 2. Not as good as season 1, but yeah, I gotta go back and rewatch some of specifically a lot of the ones I really like. Like, I'm not gonna go back and rewatch Iron Fist. I might rewatch Luke Cage, but I do want to rewatch all three of our other 2 seasons of Daredevil. I want to rewatch Defenders, Punisher definitely, and I might rewatch Jessica Jones season 1. I've said my piece on what I think of Jessica Jones season 1. I liked it. I didn't love it. And when we get to season 2, it's a little bit of the same boat, but on a lesser scale. Like, I liked it, not as much as season 1, but I didn't love it. And then we'll see what season 3 brings. I have seen a few clips of season 3, so I know who makes a guest appearance on one episode, and I know kind of what happens with the whole Trish and Jessica relationship to some degree. So I do know that much, but other than that, I'm going in here blind. Until then, though, that's my thoughts on Punisher Season 1. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I really liked this series. I really did. Or at least this. I mean, I like the series overall. But I loved Season 1. I still think Daredevil's better, but I still loved Season 1. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for win, Star Wars, Super Magic, whatever, anything to do with the channel, put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. Hit that bell if you want notifications. Until then, thanks for watching. See you later.